Welcome to the Student Success Simulation. Before we get started, I'd like to say thank you for your time, and without further ado, let's get into it. At the beginning, you get a brief description of the simulation, and then you can have as many buttons as you like, but I just have two. One will give you the instructions, the other puts you right into the game. So to start things off, I'm playing as a 25-year-old living in Arlington, Texas. My job pays me $2,800 a month. Expenses are $1,900, and I have $16,000 in debt, $2,500 in savings, and my goal is to make $100,000 a year real estate wholesaling. Make sure everything's correct. 25, Arlington, income, expenses, savings, debt, and my goal. Obviously, we're not making any money wholesaling, so we need to get started. So it gives me a couple of options. I can start with lead generation, networking, putting some money away for marketing. It asks, how much are you willing to put towards marketing efforts? In the beginning, I'm willing to put $500 per month into this. And I want to start with cold calling and driving for dollars right here, and give me a couple suggestions for lead generation. All right, so you understand what I'm saying? Cold calling, driving for dollars, cost-effective ways to find sellers. $500 a month, I can cover gas, skip tracing, and maybe a dialer. We're driving for dollars 3 to 4 times a week, trying to call 100 to 200 homeowners a day, and most people won't pick up, so that's fine. And then we're going to use Google Sheets to track leads to keep our expenses low. Skip tracing's 200, dialers 100, and gas is 100. And then it's not going to count our miscellaneous expenses because that is discretionary, and we don't have to spend that if we don't want to. And then our networking strategy, we're going to go ahead and join some Facebook groups, REI meetups, and start building my cash buyer list. And then it presents us with our first challenge. So after a few days of calling, get some mixed results. A lot of them hang up immediately. Some interested, and then one lead stands out. Said that they might be willing to sell their vacant property, but they want to know my offer first. I have zero experience. I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know how to make an offer. So it says, hey, how do you want to respond? Scheduled a walkthrough. And since I just took a course, I'm going to ask my teacher whether this is a good deal or not and what I should offer for it. The way this simulation works is in the beginning, it lets you make a lot of the smaller level decisions, and you don't progress as fast. But as you start gaining more traction and having some of these experiences and successes, it widens the time scale, and you're making the bigger decisions. You're not really involved in the day to day, and you'll see that as the gameplay goes on. But just want to give you a little heads up so you can understand the way that this simulation runs. We have our walkthrough scheduled. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet, and it needs a little bit of work. Roof, about $10,000. Kitchen repairs and bathroom repairs, $15,000, and overgrown yard, $5,000. So a lot of work, but it does give us some of the more key details like ARV, estimated repairs, and then it lets me know, hey, buyers usually want 70%, and so if for someone who's more experienced in this, that they understand these calculations. And so it's a nice little reminder of what buyers are looking for, and what you should be looking to try to contract this property for. I believe I offered 145, and the seller said, hey, nope, I'm looking for 180. And so now it's time for our next decision. Okay, do we want to explain the numbers, hold firm? Do we want to see if they're flexible? Do we want to try a creative approach? Like how do we want to handle this? So I said I want to hold firm at 145, but I'm willing to go up to 150 if they agree on the spot, right? Because it still leaves me a little bit of wiggle room to make some money on this deal. So good strategy. Holding firm shows confidence and urgency. It kind of goes through the negotiation phase, and congratulations, we agree for 150, 30-day closing window, and now it's time to find a buyer. I need to assign this contract to an investor for my profit. It was telling me I should aim for 160 to 165 to get me a $10,000 to $15,000 assignment fee. And it lets me know, hey, cash buyers are going to try to push me down on the price, and so I need to be able to hold firm. I'll contact my buyers list, and then if I don't get any interest, I'll go to the meetups, and my asking price will be, I'll start at 165, but I'm willing to go down to 155 because I really want to close this deal. The more information you give it, the better your gameplay experience will be, because it tries to really accommodate. I'll start with my buyers list, keeps things simple, and going to the meetups if needed, expands my reach, and then gives me room to negotiate. Solid first payday, that's what we're looking for. Every payday needs to be solid. Trying to find a buyer, a couple people like it, so they wanted that 150 number, but that won't work. I want to make some money, right? And then it says an experienced investor calls me back, like the numbers, I can do 158, right? So do I go ahead and take my profit? It's slightly below my target, but it's a solid wholesale check. Do you want to push for 160? Do you want to lock it in, secure the deal, or wait for some other buyers? Because like we said before, the time is ticking. Oh, where is it? Yeah, time is ticking. Wait for other buyers. I don't want to risk losing it. So I said lock in at 158, close the deal. Congrats, fire emojis. First deal closed. So I lock in the 158, contracted price 150, assigned price 158, assignment fee 8,000. It uses the appropriate lingo for the industry that you're in, because I'm sure that your students will be familiar. Our savings account bumped up 8,000. Debt is still at 1,600. Let's do it again. Now that I've closed my first deal, I have some momentum. What do I want to do? Do I want to reinvest in the marketing, expand my network, pay off some debt? How do we want to use this first big win? I decided to start building a list of buyers, so that next time I'm able to shop it around, give me more leverage to ask for a higher price. Smart move. I might be a real estate mogul in the making. Building a strong cash buyers list will give me more negotiating power and close deals faster. The more demand I create, the higher assignment fees I can charge, which is great news. Next steps, meetups, Facebook, making some posts like this, driving for buyers. So it's like the We Buy Houses signs, contacting the owners, stuff like this. Once I start getting into the like building the custom ones that aren't on ChatGPT, I'll train it on your information. So you might have different wording or different suggestions for this step in the process, and so it'll give your students your suggestions instead of just general from the internet suggestions. But if you like these and you want to rock with these, then we can also do that. So just something to consider later on down the road. But for now, we're on ChatGPT, and this is what this is the hand that we're dealt. An investor wants a deal now. Great problem to have. Buyer tells me I'm looking for my next flip ASAP. Find something, bring it straight to me. I'll pay top dollar. This could be a huge advantage. Guaranteed buyer makes it easier, but relying on just one buyer could limit my profits. How do I want to handle it? Prioritize them. Don't want to keep them in my rotation, or negotiate a VIP fee. I'm going to prioritize finding 3 quick deals for this investor, and use the money I made from the first deal to aggressively find new properties. Aggressive scaling mode activated, and it goes ahead and allocates my $8,000. So $3,000 goes to marketing, $1,500 for driving for dollars, $500 in software, and then $3,000 will be kept in savings just in case. Then it also gives me a couple ideas for hiring a virtual assistant, skip tracing and larger lists, driving for dollars more often. Then I get a description from my buyers. Like, I want properties under 200K, light to moderate rehab around the Arlington area. I can do that, right? I live here. And so I narrow my search, start aggressively calling. After 2 weeks of grinding, I find a seller. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet in Fort Worth, right? About 20,000 in repairs, ARV, and the seller's asking 165, which is a little too high. Do I want to negotiate hard to get them down on their price, creative, or pass up on this deal? Then I'll negotiate them down to 145, emphasize the fact that I have a buyer ready to close quickly. If they don't budge, I'll go to that 155 because I want to gain some traction, close some deals, build my reputation, because I personally feel like that's going to pay off in the future. I want to make sure I communicate that. Let's play it forward, right? So time to negotiate. Call the seller. I get a little bit of pushback. Can't go that low. Lowest I consider is 155 if you can close fast. That's right at my number, which is good. Lock out at 155. I sign the contract, immediately sell it to the buyer for 165. They accept the deal, and it fits perfectly, right? $10,000 in our pocket Very nice. Now we're up to $20,000 in save. 2 deals closed. We're scaling faster. So what's our next move? Do we want to go all in on marketing, expand our buyers list, hire a bird dog? I didn't know what this was at first, but Google, shout out Google, man. They have everything on there. So I said I want to ramp up to $4,000 a month on marketing so I can close my next deal quickly. And I want to start figuring out what my expectations and responsibilities will be for the bird dog. And then I'll use the money from my next flip to fund the bird dog and increase marketing. Smart move. And so let's break it down. $4,000 a month will be allocated $1,500 for bigger skip trace lists, $1,200 for cold calling VA, 2-3 hours a day, $800 in ads, and then $500 in gas and software. And the goal is to triple my lead flow so I can get more offers. Bird dog, looking at about $500 to $1,000 per closed deal, or $5 to $10 a lead, which I think is pretty fair for as much money as I'm making per deal. And I'll need 25 plus properties a week. Start with the Facebook groups, meetups, and college students, Uber drivers, etc. You get another seller in 3 weeks. ARV, repairs, the seller. So negotiate it for $150, invest it for takes it for $165, boom, $15,000 in profit, just like that. And we're looking pretty good. That's $5,000 a week. I'll take that any day. Got our 3rd deal closed, and our savings are up to $35,000. Now the marketing and bird dog budget is covered. Do you want to hire the bird dog, experiment with direct mail since I have the cash, or consider joint venture? I immediately said I want the bird dog and work on building my cash buyer lists to prepare for the increase in distressed sellers. Full throttle mode activated. Hire my bird dog, $500 per closed deal, $10 per lead. I'm looking for 30 to 50 high quality leads a week. Vacant, overgrown, distressed, etc. Set them up on Deal Machine. We do weekly check-ins to review the progress. Right. So now we have properties coming in without spending my time driving around. Look, we go to some meetups, investor-friendly real estate agents, and Facebook posts. Like I'm locking up off-market properties in the DFW. Serious buyers, DM me your criteria, and then going after some hard money lenders. My list grows from 5 to 10 to 40 plus quickly, and the next deal rolls in. 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Arlington. ARV, repairs, sellers ask. I get them down to 160, and since I have multiple buyers, boom, I have a bidding war. Beautiful. $20,000, time to celebrate. Popping bottles, baby. 4th deal's closed. We have $55,000 in savings, and our buyers list is growing. Our lead flow is boosted. Now that our pipeline is scaling fast, what do we want to do? Expand marketing, hire another bird dog, cold caller, building relationship with hedge funds. How do we want to play this, right? Because we're still keeping in mind our $100,000 a year goal. I said I want to hire another bird dog and a cold caller to increase my lead flow and establish myself as a go-to distressed property finder, right? I'm the guy. I'm taking over the market. My strategy, textbook, scaling. More leads, more deals, more buyers, higher fees, more money. We like that. So I hire another bird dog, and now I'm getting 60 to 100 potential deals a week. I have a cold caller that I'm paying for 20 hours a week of work. We're about $1,000 a month for the bird dogs per closed deal, $1,500 a month for the VA. We're spending $3,500 a month for skip tracing, ads, dialer, etc. And now I have a system that generates leads 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let's go get paid. We'll host some virtual property showings, build my VIP list, and then try to bump up my assignment fees from $10,000 to $15,000 to 20 plus. We've earned it, right? We've closed 4 deals already. Next big deal, and it's the biggest one yet, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, Grand Prairie. ARV, repairs, they're asking 180. We get them down to 170. Buyer 1, 190. Buyer 2, 195. Buyer 3, hedge fund, 205. Profit, celebration, popping more bottles. Now savings are up to 90,000. 100 plus properties coming in a month, becoming the go-to wholesaler in the area. Next milestone, I want to hit that 100,000. Do I want to hire a full-time acquisition manager, start flipping properties myself, go after hedge funds? You know what I'm saying? What's the next power move? I decided to hire an acquisition manager to handle deal negotiations so I can focus on moving into more lucrative markets like industrial and land real estate. And then I also asked for a detailed breakdown of my financials. The reason why each turn you're not getting a detailed breakdown is because it was a little bit too much information, right? Information overload, if you will. And so we wanted to keep it simple, keep the gameplay, pretty fast paced and easy for people to follow. But at any time, you're more than welcome to ask for a detailed breakdown, and it will not interrupt gameplay. And so I'm going to show you that right now. Making CEO moves, and here's our breakdown. It shows our profits, 5 deals closed, 88,000 total, 17.6 per deal on average. Our expenses, for 4,000 in marketing, 1,000 in bird dogs, 1,500 cold calling, etc., brings us to 10.5 a month. After this financial breakdown, we get right back into the gameplay. Hiring the manager. We want to delegate the deal negotiations. So we need somebody that can handle the negotiations, follow-ups, and help us expand. We're going to pay them $3,500 a month, 10 to 15% commission, and then, of course, performance-based incentives. And then it also breaks down why this works, right? We're not just telling you, we're kind of giving you an explanation, which will help people who are trying to experiment with different things understand why certain things are working or why certain things will not work. And we'll also cover that in the end when we get our gameplay analysis. Moving into industrial and land real estate. Why? These markets, big money, right? 50K plus a deal. I like that. And so it gives us a little strategy for breaking into these markets. Networking, vacant land miss, direct mail, find developers willing to pay high fees. It wants me to push for more, but I'm sticking with 100,000, and we'll get to that later. Say, hey, 250 is possible for you, but for the sake of time in the simulation, I'm just gonna stick with the 100,000 and call it quits when we get there. But we'll cross that bridge later. What's my new power move? Right. So I decided to get a little creative. I want to take a course on land wholesaling, just to get familiar because I feel like it's different. And then while I'm in this course, I'll network with the other students, leverage my success in residential real estate to encourage partnerships and exclusive opportunities. I'm expanding my empire, power move, education, networking, credibility, bigger deals, exclusive partnerships, the whole bang, the whole shebang. Step 1, understanding the zoning, finding sellers, building a buyer's list. Because it says unlike the residential stuff, land buyers are builders and developers. So we're talking to a different type of person with different needs and interests and bigger checkbooks. So I pay between $2,000 and $5,000 for the course, and looking for big money for the fees. Since I close the deals, I have credibility. I end up partnering with some of the students or reach out to the others, connect them to my network. And if I find a strong buyer, they might bring me some deals. So we're doing good, and I'm trying to position myself as a go-to wholesaler, right? If you want to read all into this more detailed, check the link in the description. It'll be labeled for you. 3, first land deal on the horizon, right? I start marketing, direct mail, cold calling, driving for dollars, land edition, right? Got that distinction in there. After 3 weeks, we get a 3-acre lot, residential zoning, near new developments. Owner inherited it, doesn't want it, just wants to get out of it. So asking 70,000. But I like this, right? That's another 70 grand profit for me. I just want to get rid of it. Can you make me an offer? So how do I want to handle this deal? I can beat them down on the price. I can lock it up at 70, or I can partner with a student from the course, right? Because that was my intention kind of going into the course. I want to find people. So I ended up partnering with a student from the course. I'll lean on my experience to expand in new areas outside the Metroplex and target pieces of land that might go under the radar. Another power move, playing it smart, networking experience, long-term dominance. I'll lock up the contract, you bring in the buyer, we'll split 50-50, right? It's a win-win. I get access to the buyers. Seller's asking 70,000. We get them down to 55. We find somebody that wants to pay 95 for it. We get 40 grand, my split is 20. On the first deal, we love it. Now we're up to 110,500 profits, and we've closed 6 deals. And it, brought my new focus to expanding outside the Metroplex. We'll go ahead and skip through this for now. Because this is all like next take the next leap to blow past 100,000, but we've already hit our goal. So I told it I want to stop here for now. I've hit my goal, $100,000 in real estate, wholesaling. I want to let the residential wholesaling business run itself, collect the passive income, and since I'm at the end of the game, I ask you, to give me a detailed breakdown of my decisions, showing the good and the bad, and then include suggestions for how I can improve and possibly do this in real life, right? Because at the end of the day, people want real money, not simulation money. So, congrats. Hit your goal. Successfully built a 6-figure wholesaling business. We've systemized it so it can run itself. Now let's break down all the best moves, challenges, and how to apply this in real life. So once we get down here to the breakdown, the good and the bad, it starts with the good. So starting with low cost lead generation, right? I'm doing it myself, cold calling and driving. So it shows me why it worked and how to apply it in real life. So the second one, reinvested profits and scaling, why it worked, how to apply it. Strong cash buyers list, bidding wars, why it worked, how to apply it in real life. Transition into land wholesaling for bigger deals, why it worked, how to apply it in real life. And then areas for improvements, right? So could have hired sooner, and how to improve. Took a few deals to maximize assignment fees, right? I mean, this was kind of our plan, and maybe I did it wrong, right? So started off with 8 and 15,000, and then eventually grew to 20 and 35,000, and then so it gave me a couple ways to improve. Could have expanded into commercial sooner. I didn't know that's where the big money was, but if I were to do it again, that's what I would do. And then tips to how to improve. And then it gives me a breakdown of how to do this in real life, right? So step 1, starting residential, scale with a team, transition to land, X, Y, and Z. But all this information is based on, what's out there on the internet already. Like I said before, when I'm building the custom simulations, this will be trained on the information that you teach your students. So it's just reinforcing the lessons learned in your course. And then final takeaways, right? So hit my goal, build a system, position myself. Where do we go next, right? So keep growing the business, start investing in long term, yada yada, right? And then ask do I want a custom game plan to apply this in real life? So I said, yeah, this was fun. Sure, let me get a game plan. And then kind of just broke things down in the first weeks. And like I said before, in the custom one, these suggestions will be based on what you teach in your course, right? So if you want to read it, you can pause the video or just check the link in the description. It'll bring you to this, and you can read it in more detail. And then final thoughts: 100% doable. I've already played through this process in the simulation. Next step is taking real action. If you follow this plan, you'll be on track to making $100,000 in your first year. And then it'll even recommend books, software, courses. So for the custom one, we'll take this part out, or we could just take out this whole section, like this whole. Yeah, we could take out this whole section for you, and then say, hey, we'll recommend the tools and resources that you recommend in your course to reinforce the learning that you have in your course. And that's all I have for you. So thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.